Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. Okay, so today I got a special one for you. It's another little story time and technically another issue of me being really smart, but also doing something really dumb. So, preface this one with, I'm an Arizona kid. I'm from the desert. I understand the necessity of treating the sun with respect and not hurting yourself with it. Now, as a kid, I got many different sunburns. I ran around in the desert for many hours all throughout the day, and to the point where it's like just doesn't really bother me so much anymore. But then I joined the Navy and I left the desert behind, and I was like, I don't want to go to the desert anymore. It sucks. So I ended up going to the desert again. But no. And another preface for this one. For those of you who don't know, in the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. Anyway, so in the Navy, if you've been out to sea for 30 or more days and have not touched dry land in those days, you get what is called a steel beach picnic, where basically we take a day off and we go up and we get some nice refreshments and barbecue, and sometimes there's music, and then there's the beer call, which is 2 beers per person if you're lucky. And yeah. That's the Steel Beach picnic. It's fun. It's exciting. It's a break, a much needed break. And so this story revolves around a Steel Beach picnic. Now, this was, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this was my first Steel Beach picnic, not counting, of course, the WOG ceremony, the shellback ceremony. But this was, I think, my first Steel Beach picnic ever in the Navy. I was on my original ship, which was the USS Carl Vinson. It was awesome. It was a massive ship. It was an aircraft carrier. I can't tell you much more beyond that because I'm not sure what exactly I'm not supposed to say. But anyway, apart from that, that was my first ship, and we're out to sea. We're heading out to do our usual thing when we go out, and we have to sail across the ocean blue, and we just got, I think it was our smallpox shot, and so that meant we had to quarantine basically for a while, and so we had to sail past a lot of ports that we would usually have stopped at. So this ended up putting us within the range of doing a Steel Beach picnic. And now, of course, after everything was said and done, we're like, okay, we're going to take this break, we're going to take this day off, we're going to have a fun little Steel Beach picnic. Awesome. Now, of course, I worked in the retail sector of the ship at the time, meaning I was working in the store, and so I had to miss a lot of it, but it was fine because we divvied up the schedule so that all 4 of us could get up there and get our snacks and barbecue and have fun, at least for a little bit. And of course, I was the last one to go up, so I got to go up before everything was shut down, and I went up there. And the line was massive. If you've ever been in the military, then you know you learn how to stand on cue. And the only people I think who do it better than us would be the Brits. But you know, the Navy, the military, we learn how to stand on line. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up standing on line for about an hour. And you know, at this point, I'm like, it's starting to get a little warm. I can feel it. And it's standing out on a flight deck in the middle of the ocean with the sun beating down on you and nothing else to do, and nothing else for it to do. It's going to do what it does, and that's burn you. And of course, you know, naturally, I know I'm getting a sunburn. I've got my hat on to keep a little bit of the shade off and everything, but that's fine. I got my plate. I'm like, cool. So I went and I found a nice little place to sit down and eat my food, and I ate it, and it was delicious. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the stupid comes in. I take off my utility top, I lay it down, and I lay down on it on the Steel Beach, and I just like lay back like this. Now, naturally, what happens when you live and work in the same place and you take a break, you get good at falling asleep places. Now, of course, I was already pretty good at falling asleep in random places as it was, but I fell asleep. That's the point. That's the topic. That's the issue. That's what I'm talking about here. I fell asleep in the sunshine. You can see where this is going. I got sunburned. I got some bad sunburned. Now, of course, this was literally the worst sunburn I had ever had in my entire life. Now, I have been in the desert. I have walked through the desert for hours. Sun beaten down, no clouds, no shade, all of that. Bad sunburn? It was okay. But I had never had a sunburn this bad. Now, the worst part is, it was my face. Now, I also burned a little bit down here, which, is another telling sign of how bad the sunburn was, because, this part never burns. But my face, my entire face was sunburned. Now, not a problem. I went down to the berthing, and everyone's looking at me like, dude, you're red. I'm like, yes, I am. I am very red. I looked at myself in the mirror. It's like everything was just bright red. Not a problem, right? It was a bad sunburn. I could tell already it was going to be a bad sunburn. No big deal. I went to bed, and I fell asleep for reals this time. It's bedtime. And wake up in the morning. Everything hurt so bad. I climb out of bed. I climb out of my rack, and I'm like, oh, God, why does it hurt so bad? Because it's not like the usual sting from a sunburn. No. This is real pain. And I look at myself in the mirror. My entire face had blistered overnight. I was leaking ooze from my face. I developed this massive blister right here. It's actually scarred. You can't really see it so well. I mean, even on a normal day, you can't really see it very well. But like if I start to sweat and get a little active and stuff, and my face goes a little red, you can see this part stays white. So I got a little scar right here from a big old blister that just popped up right there. And like all over here, down in here, everything was just blistered and oozing and ouchies and everything. And oh my God. And so I go down to morning muster to check in and be like, hey, I'm here, I'm live, and then we have to go to our usual assigned workspaces after listening to them piggyback off each other for a while. And they're like, dude. I'm like, yeah. And this is where the line comes in. Well, you can't go to medical because you fell asleep on the flight deck and you did this to yourself. Therefore, they will punish you for destruction of government property. I have no idea if this is true or not. I still, to this day, don't know if this is true or not. But this is what everyone from my senior enlisted to my officer to all my other buddies in the enlisted section were telling me. So I'm like, okay, I'll tough it out. It's fine. It's fine. Of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I worked in the retail sector of the ship, meaning that I had to sit in the ship store with this massively, badly blistered face. Everyone was going to see it. Now, cutting to the chase, I did have a good friend in medical who brought me some aloe vera and helped me out a little bit. And I got a no shave kit, meaning that I didn't have to shave while the sunburn was up. They gave me, I think it was a month. But I'd say the worst part of this was, even despite the pain and everything, was I'm sitting there miserable as all get out, and a Master Chief walks into the ship's store, and he asks me a question. Of course, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm suffering, and you can see it. You can see it. It's literally clear as day on my face. He asked me some questions. I answered them. I'm respectful, but I'm very short because I don't want to move my face too much. And he's like, you don't deal with many Master Chiefs, do you? I'm like, thinking to myself, like, Master Chief, I'm in this place for 8 hours at a minimum. I see Master Chiefs. I see officers. I've had admirals coming through here. I've had special guests coming through here. I have dealt with everyone, even the CO of the entire ship and the XO. They have been in my store many times. Of course, I didn't say this because he's a Master Chief, but I looked at him and said, no, Master Chief, afraid I don't. He's like, all right, I got you. I don't know where that went. I'm pretty sure he went up and talked to my chain of command because that's what they always do. Master Chiefs by and large, are pretty cool. They don't bother you too much. As long as you don't bother them, they don't bother you. They're just there to ride out the rest of their term. But occasionally you'll get the one who really wants to be the McPawn, and he'll go all out for you. But he'll go all out against you because he wants to add things to his little register. But I have no idea where that went. If he went and talked to my chain of command about it, he might have. He might not have. I don't know. But I think it would have been hilarious if he did. And my chain of command looked at him. It's like, did you look at his face? Did you see the blisters? But ultimately, like, that wasn't even the end of it. I had to suffer with these blisters, and then finally they went away, and then it was just like cracked, broken skin for about, I'd say about 2 to 3 weeks. And I had a no shave chip for about a month, and I kept that. I rocked that. I did not shave. Oh, sorry, I had a no shave chip for about a month. Did I say that? I think I said that. I don't remember what I said, but I had it for about a month, and so I rocked that beard until I finally gave up. Because I kept getting people attacking me in the hallways, in the P-ways, being like, "Hey, where's your no shave chip? Or you got a no shave chip there, shipmate? Hey, why ain't you shave, shipmate?" No shave chip. But I finally got tired of having to deal with that, and so I just started shaving again. But that was a good life lesson. I'd say don't fall asleep on the flight deck, and don't go in the sun without any sunblock. To this day, I get a little gun shy around too much sun. I feel a little singe. I'm like, okay. Of course, I've got the ginger skin, so it burns easily. But anyway, apart from all that, that is the end of this story. Have you ever had any weird injuries? Any that really felt like they just were a testament to your intelligence, right? Have you ever had one of those? Leave those in the comment section down below. That'd be cool to read. But anyway, apart from all that, on to announcements. We are definitely nearing the end of Borderlands 3. I looked it up again, and I'm like, it said only like 22 hours, but I'm almost to 40, for Christ's sake. And I looked it up again. It's like, oh, 22 hours was just for the story, and I've been doing all the other things. And so now we are definitely close to the end of this game. And then we got to do cleanup, and then we got to do all the background stuff. And I am debating whether or not I want to play Tiny Tina immediately next, because, like I said, I'm kind of burned out with Borderlands, and I want to do something else. But it's Tiny Tina's dungeon thing. It's gonna be great. I don't know. I'm hoping I can get it at the very least, get it, and then play it soonish. Apart from all that, I'm going to be working on a fairly large project in the background, so don't be surprised if we end up with a limited upload schedule and whatnot. And yeah, that's all the announcements. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of the community show. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, just go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And when I can, if I can, you know all that jazz, and tune in next time as we talk about another topic at another time. And until then, good night.